And what was the reaction to the market?
Crazy. So I knew we were doing things well. And by the way, we also had a 40% like EBITDA margin. So quite unusual for ecom. Is about twice the industry standard. But all the things we've already talked about kind of made it appeal, cutting out, going direct to consumer, having repeat revenue, keeping our customer acquisition costs low, so on and so forth, focusing on long lifetime value. So we went to market. Within the first 10 days, we had over 200 offers to request more information and get on a call with us. So 200 interested buyers. Nuts.
Wow. How did you filter those down?
It's a good thing we had Quiet Light to be able to do that. And so we came up, this is wild too, by the way. We came up with a list of 10 potential buyers, not like specifically like this person or that person, but just based on like customer persona, right? And so if you're running ads, it may be, this guy with this age, this income. We created a similar thing for what we thought our ideal buyer would be. So someone heavily in retail or Amazon or these things, right? Someone has an existing grooming business, that kind of thing. And so we shared that, and someone who wanted to keep our focus on our customer base and not diversify into another, like go broad stream. And so we created this list of things with the broker, and we kind of filtered them down on people who actually had the money, people who were serious, had prior M&A experience, because I just didn't want to waste my time after close the deal, and people who had these kind of shared values. And so we started having the conversations after that. So we got down to like, 24 people.
Okay. And did you solicit letters of intent? Like how many formal letters of intent did you receive from that?
We had about a dozen.
Okay. And so what was your reaction to the letters of intent? I mean, like what was...
This happened so fast. So we went from market to under LOI in 28 days, and from under LOI to deal close money and account in under 28 days.
Wow.
So it happened really fast.
That's incredible. So how did you choose the company to go under LOI? Like what was it about their offer that was attractive?
Yeah, believe it or not, on this one-page sheet that we had, I'm not going to say the potential acquirer's name, but on my one-page business plan when we started the business, I said I wanted to sell in 3 to 5 years to this buyer, right? And so put that on pause. And then we were interviewing like these dozen people who were super interested. And one of them had their M&A team, and they're like, hey, we just left the M&A shop from this company. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. And I shared it with them. I'm like, look at my one-page business plan. I literally wanted to get acquired by this team. And technically, even though it's not the same company, the team from that company is over here running and operating this new business. And so we got acquired by an aggregator that kind of recruited the best from like L'Oreal, Gillette, Procter & Gamble. And they had a lot of industry expertise in personal care and grooming. And so the company we originally wanted to get acquired by, that team came over here. And so it was like the stars aligning and God saying, I got you. Like, this is what you wanted, and here it is. And so it just made perfect sense. They had all the industry experience and prior experience running that ideal brand. And so we had that same company here. And so it was amazing.
You mentioned the acquirer was an aggregator. I believe the acquirer's name is Branded. Is that
Branded,
correct? Yeah. And when you say an aggregator, what do you? They're buying up direct to consumer digitally native brands and aggregating them together and taking advantage of sort of efficiencies. Is that the model?
Yep, kind of that 1 + 1 = 3 thing, where they own several personal care grooming brands and kind of share back office support, warehouse and logistics, all that kind of thing, to squeeze out additional margin. So that's exactly it. So they bought about 40 brands, and they were doing like multiple 9 figures in annual revenue.
Got it.
And so we're a good fit to like tuck into an existing personal care vertical and a couple of brands that they had in personal care and grooming.
As you're building the business, you thought, 3 to 5 times EBITDA. As COVID happened, multiples started to go up, 4 to 6 may be possible. As you looked at those 10 or so offers that you got, 12 offers, like what was the range in multiple? Like what were kind of low to high?
So they're all kind of in that range, because, the broker would kind of field deals that were a waste of time. So they're all kind of in that range that you would expect around that time for an e-com brand. The thing that really separated the deals were how involved we needed to be post-close and how much of that was cash up front versus like a longer earnout, or how much of what percentage of the business they were buying. So we wanted to optimize for more cash at close with less involvement since we had this new family member.
Yeah.
And the reason for sale was not that. Not only that, it's kind of hit a path where, we needed some more support because we had a lot of demand internationally, and we were at the point where we needed to get into retail and we didn't have that prior experience. And so that was a perfect inflection point for us to bring on an acquirer, because those are exactly the things that we were preparing our business to be attractive to. And then we didn't have that experience. And so it made like a perfect story to, hey, we got it to this point. Here's all this data and demand to go into retail. This is your experience. It's a perfect marriage. So there's tremendous upside. And so we also now have this family. So we wanted to optimize a deal where we didn't have to continue working, or we didn't have to reinvest a lot of our assets are tied up in this one entity. A lot of our income and wealth is tied up in this one asset. And so we wanted a scenario where we could take back as much of that as possible and turn it over to someone who had a lot of competency and experience going globally and in retail.